am almost 100% sure everybody in the world has seen a pair of these headphones. I don't care if you're a fetus or you're 58 years old. You have seen a pair of these somewhere. They are the most legendary headphones in the galaxy, used in every single studio. They look like they was made in the 1930s because they near enough were, and they're just good headphones all round. Also, to add to that, very affordable. But the best part about it is, I have a pair. Now, they're not in the box. There is a reason for that, because the headphones that we are reviewing don't currently look like this anymore. They're a little bit different. A little bit different. Now, they are awesome, but they are different. We'll get into that in a minute. Beyerdynamic. This is my 1 year review. Like 1 year later after owning these and using them and just enjoying them as headphones. This box has a lot of stuff in. It's not the headphones though. It's got really nice packaging. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like this Y-shaped thing which has the Beyerdynamic logo on. I think it looks really cool. All the information you need is in this box, which is what a box should contain, and also the product you're buying. DT770 Pros, the studio legend. That cannot be any more accurate. They are exactly that, the studio legends. Shall we actually have a look at the headphones that you saw in the thumbnail? Now, fun little story about these. Beyerdynamic themselves retweeted my headphones, and I'm sure you've seen that as the thumbnail for the 990s. Now, since they did that, I made some modifications to the 770s. They're now completely custom, which is good. I don't like things being the same as everyone else, hence the reason I have my name printed on my desk, on my monitor stand, and everything else in my room. So, we made them custom. Very custom. They look absolutely awesome. They've got like a really cool, like, all of the numbers are different. Like, they're all colour coded and everything. They fit really well. They're not done the best, but that's kind of the tie-dye thing. It's patchy, that's the point. So it's supposed to be like that. Beyerdynamic have this very simplistic, stock-looking thing that they do with all their headphones, and they just make them so they all look the same. There's no discrimination. You can get these with grey pads or black pads. And that's it. That is all you get. Grey pads or black pads. And if you really want to push the boat out, there is a couple of brown pads on Amazon that you can get for these. And that's about as far as customising these goes. Not to mention that some people have done the what's it called? The wire delete, so it's just a plug-in, because this is a thing that goes wrong on these the most. So I might get round to that at some point, but I'm sure you've also read the thumbnail and read the little title and stuff. These are my giveaway headphones. These will be going out to a subscriber at some point in the future, when I feel like this channel has had the right amount of subscribers and we're getting the right amount of followers and people are interacting with the videos, and I feel like this channel is growing steadily. One of you people is going to get rewarded for supporting the channel, and it's going to be someone who's active, and it's going to be someone who tells other people about the videos and gets their friends to sub and all of this stuff, because I want to make a career out of this. And I know every single creator says the same thing about, oh, share this, like this. If there was ever a reason to help someone, it should be to help them grow and gain. Now, money is good. Money helps me keep doing these reviews. That's exactly what the money I would be making from the YouTube channel would go back into. Straight into this channel. Because I've made it from the channel, so it goes straight back into it. Not really for my personal gain. I mean, obviously I'll buy some stuff here and there for me, like more audio gear for the channel, but it's for you guys to see, it's not for me. This, I want to make a career. I'll treat it like a job. Get up every day at the same time. I get up every day at 7 in the morning. I wake up, record videos, and then I edit them throughout the day, and then I put them on YouTube, schedule them to come out at a certain time. This is all I do. So if you guys want to support this and make this a career for me, I would very much appreciate that. There is nothing I want more. Back to these headphones. 1 year later. So what you want me to do in this video is tell you if these are still any good a year later. Let me tell you this. I've seen pairs of these 20 to 30 years old and they're still fantastic. 1 year on these does nothing to them. They are completely fine. The leather is completely fine. It's not worn at all. It's completely fine. It's got a bit of dust on it. But it's not worn at all. Like, it's completely fine. It doesn't look like it's tired. It's got a couple wrinkles in it, but it's really comfy. It's still got loads and loads of cushion. Like, that's never going to be a problem. The pads themselves, they're very comfy still. They're still very plush, even though they've been tie-dyed to all buggery. They look really cool. Is there anything I would change about them? Not really. I mean, other than the fact of the things that I did change about them, like they're now multicoloured and look like an LGBTQ festival. Yeah, that's kind of it. I made them colourful just because they was a bit boring. They're fantastic headphones. They sound really good. They've got quite a lot of depth and a lot of sound to offer you, like a lot of details that you would miss out in usual listening in audio that you hear in these, because at the end of the day, these are monitors strapped to your head. That's the point of them. They are supposed to be monitors. So you use these for making music, and you get an accurate representation of what you're listening to. And that's awesome. And they do that perfectly well. Now, when I first got them, the only thing that has changed slightly is they was very, very sibilant. Now, not so much. They're still very detailed in the high end, but they're not sibilant anymore. They're definitely bright, though, but not sibilant. They've just lost that little edge that almost hurt. But now it's like, you hear everything, but just to the top of what's doable. Like, just to the top of what I can bear. So it gives you all the detail. And it does that flawlessly. It gives you deep low end, although it's not very pronounced, but it's there if you listen hard enough. I like theatre sounding stuff, so I like things with big rumbly bass and glistening high end that's not too pronounced but you can still hear it. I love that kind of theatrical kind of sound. These are monitors, so they don't do that. So coming from someone who used to make music, I understand why these would be good for music, but from what I like, they're not that. That's why I got the 990s, the beyerdynamic DT990s, because they are way more theatrical and pronounced and dramatic. And that's what I like in music. So yes, these are good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing these. These are fantastic headphones, and I use them still because they're so good. Does that mean I want to get rid of them? No, it doesn't. Doing this giveaway is probably going to kill me at some point, because these headphones are awesome, and I spent a lot of time tie-dyeing them and making them custom. I've tore them all to bits. I've put them all back together. My hands have been everywhere in these, so if you don't like my hands, you don't like these headphones. They are good. They are good, right? But that is all they are. They are good. The 990s are better. These are good. It makes sense now why every studio either has the Sony MDR whatever the fucks, or these, or they have some kind of Sennheisers, like the HD 250s or something, like the most affordable ones you can get. So they are good, and they are better than the rest for that price. Like, these cost me about 100 quid. 100 quid. Now, I spent that on Audio Technicas, and these are so much more than Audio Technicas. Like, they just give you so much more. So I completely understand when people say, oh, what you doing, you Audio Technica tithead, why would you buy those? It's like, oh yeah, because I didn't get a pair of Beyers because I like my ears. I like to be able to hear high end and not be able to feel it piercing my eardrums so they bleed. When you first get a pair of these, that's what they're like. After a year, they've worn down a bit. They're not as harsh, I guess, and they're now way more doable. Like, I can wear these for a long period of time and not hate my life. The only thing, if I could modify anything, and this has nothing to do with the audio, is I feel like that little air hole, this little air hole, that's on this side as well, because these are the same cups just flipped round, I feel like that would make these sound so much better if it was not there, or smaller at least. I understand why it's there, to let pressure in so the speakers can act accurately, but I feel like that's how it loses all of its bass. I feel like that's its biggest problem. Yes, it's in a closed environment, but it isn't really because of that hole. And if that was something, I might investigate that and see what I can do, like shove a bit of blue tack in there or whatever, and just see if it changes the characteristics or the way it sounds, or give you a bit more thundery bass, because I feel like that's the one thing that lets these down, is it doesn't have enough bass response. Now, what would I do if I was beyerdynamic? Well, first thing I would do is reach out to a person called Heavy H Reviews and make this a mass production option, so that you can have the Colourpop beyerdynamic DT770s, 990s, 880s and so on. I think this should be a thing you should do. My 990s look equally as cool as this, but even cooler, because they have this mesh here. I even tie-dyed the cloth behind that, so they look really, really cool. And it's such a subtle, I didn't tie-dye it so it's really bright, I watered down the colour so it's subtle, so you really have to pay attention. I could grab them, but they're over there. Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Give me 1 second, I'll show you what I mean. Ugh. They're just, in my opinion, a bit more colourful. So you'll see what I mean now about the colour is very subtle, but it's really pronounced still. And look at these cups. They, I'm not marvelling in my own creation at all. I totally am. So these are made to be basically like twins of each other. That's exactly what these are supposed to be. So you'll see that even the pads are the same colours that I've used and similar stuff like that. And the letters and stuff, they're all kind of the same. So the idea behind these was I wanted to create something completely different, and I did that. The 990s are good. The 770s are more affordable and good. So it makes sense why you would buy some of these. Now, you can look up EQ analyzers, spectrum graphs and all stuff like that to find out what the actual frequency response is on these. I did that, and then when I put them on my head, they didn't sound like that. So I would say, if you actually want to get a good representation, see if you can borrow someone else's, preferably a new pair, in the first couple months of it, or whatever, because they do change quite a lot, and see if you can put up with that for a year before they turn quite good. Now, the only way I can say this is, people say that audio burning doesn't exist, and I say, alright, if that's true, explain the Beyers, because they get better the more you use them. The old ones, right, the old Beyers, they're made out of the same materials, in the same factory, in Germany, by the same people, just the next generation, and they're made professionally. Nothing is different, but they sound different because of the time. It's aged the sound, and it sounds better and more mature and more grown up, I guess. It just sounds more appropriate for what these should be. So when people talk about the legend, and you'll see that people don't buy new Beyers now, they will look for the older ones because of the way they sound. And I bought a pair of new ones and they sound completely different to the older ones. Things we know about these, right? 80 ohms. 80. If you plug that into your phone, it's going to be quiet. Xbox, it's going to be quiet. Now, there's a lot of things you can plug these into and it sound alright, like a Focusrite, or anything that can power that kind of stuff. My 990s are 250 ohms, so they're not exactly low ohm headphones. The usual ohms you'll get that you can power, or a phone can power, is anywhere between like 8 and 32 to like 50, but 50's pushing it. You plug these in, it will do it, but it'll be quiet. So they're headphones, they work as headphones, they're good, they're comfortable, they're great for long listening if you get used to the way they sound, but you shouldn't have to adjust your ear to listen to a pair of headphones. They should adjust to you, and over time these do. So give it time if you don't like them, because I didn't like them. I used to shit on these all the time, and then I bought a pair and said, oh, they're still shit, and then the longer I used them I said, actually these are fucking fantastic. You just have to adjust slightly, and then they become the best thing you've ever experienced. Beyerdynamic, this goes out to you as a company. Please, and I doubt you've ever thought of this, or maybe you have, it's just not something you want to do. Please make the plans for these public so people can 3D print different cup designs to come up with something that's better. And then, so you don't have to spend the money on that, get the person who's done that to send you the pair of headphones that they think sounds best, or send you all the different cup designs, and then make that one of these. Because I think a different cup design, maybe something with a bit more girth, would give it a bit more sound. Make it sound like an open back in a closed back body. I think that would be something these would very much benefit from, because it would keep all the low end of the closed back with the soundstage of the open. I think that's something that we need to do with these headphones. I would love to know how and try it, but I don't think I'm confident enough to do this. And in the future, there is probably going to be more videos on these headphones the more I mess with them. Bearing in mind, these are the channel's headphones, and they will be going out to a lucky subscriber who subscribes and likes the videos and is just a good person all round. You will be getting a pair of these. Not a pair of these. These. You will be getting these actual headphones that I have custom made. So if that's something you're interested in, please be sure to like this video, comment, like, subscribe and all that good stuff. Let me know that you want these. And if you made it to the end of the video, type cheesecake. Just cheesecake in the bottom of the subscription, or the bottom of the comments. I just want to see the word cheesecake at the bottom of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.